Hi, my name's Steve. I want to talk about the onboarding process to start with. The team took the time to understand my business over several calls, to understand what I really wanted to try and achieve and why I wanted to achieve it. And that was really important, and it made the conversations we subsequently had much more relevant. The handover between the various teams was executed really well, and it felt like there was a really strong interest and a willingness and a need to get under the detail, to really get deeper into the problems and understand what it was we were trying to do. Given what we do is specialist and our target market is really quite niche, it was, for me as the business owner, really important to get that bit right and understood, especially as the team would be representing my business when they went out to potential clients. In terms of my account manager, Ben, he's a gentle pressure and a constant nurturing presence in the background, accepting that we're trying to run the business as well. Could he be more demanding? Well, I probably respond well to he who shouts loudest when the pressure's on, but then he still got all the results out of me, so he was very effective in that respect. Deadlines, aims, objectives, they were all clear, and his hand was very much on the tiller, and you could see the direction you were going in and progress being made. Meetings were relaxed, but they were very focused, and the necessity of my contribution to the process was really clear. You never felt like you were wasting time or filling in time. What was really good as well was seeing the tweaks that you suggest, iterating into the outputs really quickly. If I had an issue, he was there. I would send an email or a text. He'd respond straight away as quickly as he could, usually within half an hour. And it felt like his people skills were really strong, and that he cared about what he was doing and the people he was working with, which as a founder is really important. And he genuinely felt like he was part of the team and still is part of the team. Sandra, however, she's a different thing altogether. Bit of a revelation. She's a great asset, and I need to use her more. As with all AI, it needs feeding a really strong diet, a really good diet, and the results that are coming out of it are already very good, if not excellent. When I needed a 30-second pitch, boom, put the question in, sorted. When I needed a script for a cold call to a client of a specific type, done, it was there. Did I follow it to the letter? No, but what it was a really good 80% starter to then allow me to focus and add the value. It meant I didn't have to go through that horrible process of generating all of those original thoughts and ideas. And it's always easier to knock ideas around when they've been suggested to you than trying to come up with them originally, particularly when you're busy. I now need to build on that and see how we can develop that relationship, and I need to dedicate more time to her and to selling. And the final thing was to talk about the week 5 insights call and really what my reflections are on the meetings that have come through and that we've had. So I'll start with the meetings. They were a mixed bag. To start with, there were a few in there that weren't particular. I didn't feel were particularly well focused on our target market. We discussed all of that, but very, very quickly that was all refined. What was clear was that the team has a real appetite to learn, to grow, to refine the delivery of what we needed, and they did just that. The last few meetings were really well targeted, really well prepared, and I'd set some quite significant stretch targets in my own mind as to what I thought we might achieve, and they were quite ambitious targets, I thought, and the team got very close to them. In fact, in reality, they probably hit them all. So none of those meetings have yet converted into any hard orders, but I've got a dialogue ongoing with a number of the people I spoke to, and there's more contact, more sales contact, and more information exchange going forwards, and all of that means that there's the potential downstream, and that's very much the way that my business works, and it's building those relationships longer term that delivers the really good leads. So there's no pressure to go again and buy a load more meetings. We're currently building the digital side this week, and I'm really based on what we've seen so far. Really excited to see how that goes forward, and looking forward to sitting down and evaluating success that we have from that or otherwise. And what I'm really confident about is this learning approach, this iterative cycle, and how it seems to very quickly and effectively refine down. So I'm hoping we're going to see the same. So I started out when I first was approached by these guys, and they caught me at just the right moment where I really felt I needed to have someone on board who could really help me with the sales, the marketing and business development, to do some lead generation, who got my business and was willing to learn quickly, and didn't need a huge amount of supervision from me, and didn't require a huge amount of input from me once I got them started, and could hit the ground running. And I'd looked at business coaches, I'd looked at all sorts of things. I'd seen friends take new salespeople on that had not gone particularly well. And I have to say that this whole process has exceeded all of those expectations, and I can see it's added some real immediate growth potential. And so I strongly recommend them. They get my vote, and I'm going to keep going with them.